Hello and welcome to Amazing Philippines. Today I want to talk a little bit about rentals, condo rentals. I'm going to use that as a generic term. Could mean apartments, condos, townhouses, apartments. I haven't really determined whether there's a clear distinction between any of them here in the Philippines. One of my frustrations when I got here, in fact before I got here, was trying to determine what part of the city I wanted to live in. And I had looked at several different websites with rentals available. I looked at maps of the city and really was having a difficult time trying to determine what part of the city I want to live in. And then when you go online, you see apartments and condos listed in different parts of the city. You're in the city. So where do you go from there? Today I'm going to give you some contact information to a person who is familiar with a number of properties. She works where I'm staying here. I'm living in a unit that's managed by these people, Primary Homes. And Primary Homes has a number of properties in Cebu, in the Cebu City area, as well as outside the area, I believe. I have no affiliation with Primary Homes financially or otherwise, or Mary Ann. I've just found that Mary Ann has become my go-to person over the last 8, 9, 10 months. Any question I have about anything, she usually has an answer, or she'll find it for me. So I highly recommend using her as a source. As I've said before, Filipinos are some of the best network people in the world, and she has lots of contacts in various properties. Anyway, Mary Ann works at LaGuardia Flats 1, and she's usually the first person you see after you pass security there going up. It's about a 14-story building right next to IT Park. They have 24-hour security. You'll find some of their condos listed on sites like Airbnb, those types of things. It probably is a better deal to deal with the office, somebody like this, somebody like Mary Ann, because she can kind of fine-tune what you're looking for there. There on the left, the bulletin board is a list of rentals and condos for sale. You've got a small Sari store there, which is a small convenience store. There's a laundromat there, as well as parking areas for guests and paid parking. This is the view right across from the lobby entrance, and this is the street. It's at a dead-end street, LaGuardia Street, and you go down, you walk this direction. Walk down that street about 4 blocks is the main street, which is Salinas. And like I said, you're right next to IT Park, but you have to walk 4 blocks down this street to get to the main street, and then you can take a right or take a left. There's restaurants there, pharmacies. The University of Southern Philippines is almost right across the street. There's an aviation school across the street. If you take a left, walk that way about 2 kilometers, walk about a kilometer that way, and then take a right and walk a kilometer, you run into Ayala Mall. I often walk there. There's lots of taxis run up and down this road because of there's 3 other condos, large condos on the street or right off of this street also. LaGuardia Flats 2 is a couple blocks down here and then a block to the left. I'll show you that now. But first, here's the view of IT Park that you get if you rent a unit opposite the lobby side, facing the opposite direction. LaGuardia Flats 1 has a backup generator for all units. It also has a gym on the 14th floor. It's not air conditioned, but oftentimes there's a little bit of a breeze blowing through the area. I pay 15,000 pesos a month for a studio condo. It's 22 square meters. It has a balcony. I face east, which is overlooking the IT Park here. and clean and well maintained. There again, get in contact with Mary Ann, email her, and she can help you out. Here is several pages from our bulletin board for rent condos, studio, 1, 2, and bedroom, I think. I don't think there's any 3 bedrooms there. Anyway, another option is to contact these people directly. The problem with putting this up, obviously, is you don't know how current it is. So somebody like Mary Ann would have a better feel, have a current list at any given time. So this is LaGuardia Flats 1 near IT Park in the barangay or village of LaHoog, kind of on the north end of Cebu City. If you walk down the street about 2 blocks and take a left, there you have LaGuardia Flats 2, managed by the same people, primary homes properties, I believe. And there again, I think every unit has a balcony, just like LaGuardia Flats 1. You've got a pool instead of a gym. They may have a gym, I'm not sure. They have a pool up on one of the top floors, maybe the top floor up there, I believe, and a roof deck area. So that's an advantage and amenity that many of you would like and appreciate. I've been told that condos there, because of the pool, because it's just a little newer, they probably start at about 20,000 pesos a month. And there again, they probably have shorter term rentals, but generally people ask for a 6-month lease. And if you get shorter than that, the price goes up a little bit. Generally, just depends on how motivated the owner is. Mabolo Garden Flats is a condominium that is near SM Mall, which is a very large mall. It's also very close to Ayala Mall, which is another very large mall in Cebu City. And I've done a separate video on that where I looked at renting a studio condo. Beautiful, beautiful view, sea view. And I think I was quoted 20,000 pesos a month for a studio condo there. A little bit newer unit, maybe 3-year-old, something like that. Had on one of the higher floors, had a pool, and I believe they had a gym also, but very conveniently located to the 2 big malls here in Cebu City. Primary Homes has many other properties as well, and I'm not familiar with all of them. I will be doing another video very soon on purchasing and purchase prices of condos here in the Cebu City area. And I'm going to bring up a map here and just kind of give you an idea of the different areas. Most cities and towns are broken up into what is called barangays, or villages, political units basically within cities and towns. And they have a barangay captain, kind of like a mayor, that helps manage that smaller area. Mabolo is a barangay down in that area. I live in LaHoog barangay in Cebu City. And that's up kind of on the north end of Cebu City area. So on this particular map, if you go down to the very bottom left corner there, the Cebu City metropolitan area pretty much extends from the Talise city area down in the bottom left corner. If you draw a map along the mountains there, all the way up towards the upper right corner, that's pretty much all metropolitan area and belongs to, most of it belongs to the Cebu City. Almost in the middle of the map, you'll see Mandaue City, just a little bit to the right in the middle. There are 2 bridges that cross, if you go south from there, cross over onto Mactan Island. That's where your international airport is. And you've also got a couple smaller malls on Macleod Island, some resorts over there. Lots of advertising for condos, apartments, houses for rent. Seem to be a little bit cheaper than in the Cebu City area. But unless you're going to spend all your time or a lot of your time on that island, the traffic going back towards Mandaue City, Cebu City, can be a bit of a bear. So consider that when choosing where to live. I've been told, and I believe that as you go to Talise City, there in the lower left, that the rents are lower down in that area for condos, townhouses, apartments, housing developments, that type of thing. And I believe it. Further you go out, the cheaper the rents probably will be. Likewise, going up to the upper right, to the northeast, Liloan, Concepcion, as you keep on going, your rents will start dropping the further you get out from the city, and also the services will drop. Medical care, those types of things. Larger malls that exist in Cebu City and Mandaue City. So let's narrow this down just a little bit. Mabolo, where you see right in the center of the screen almost, you see a little icon of a hotel, condo actually. That is the Mabolo area, Barangay, and that little hotel is the LaGuardia Garden Flats condominium complex. I've done a separate video about that and showed a studio in that unit, but I will I'll also mention it again here in a little bit and have some contact information for that. You see Cebu City to the left, and over to the right you see Mandaue City. If you see where Cebu IT Park, kind of center left, Cebu IT Park, that is the Lahug area, the barangay in Cebu City, and that's the area that I live in. Just for your information, from the airport on Macleod Island, a white metered cab always costs me about 200 pesos to go what is about 5 miles or 9.5 kilometers. A yellow metered airport taxi cost me twice that, cost me 400 pesos to go the same distance. Generally they cost more because they generally return empty to the airport. They're meant to be there for the convenience of passengers. I live just outside the IT park itself, and I pay $15,000 for a studio condominium in I think about a 3 or 4 year old building, nice and clean. And as soon as you go inside, there are I think 3 or 4 different condo complexes inside IT Park. The rent goes up by about 10,000 pesos or more for the same spaces. So you're looking at 25,000 pesos for a studio, and studios that run anywhere from 22 square meters on up to probably 32, something like that. And in the future I'll put some more information up about those. Now, the area that I live in, I'm pretty close to Ayala Mall. I'm probably 2 kilometers from Ayala Mall, which is a huge mall in Cebu City. If you go from IT Park and where it says Cebu City, Ayala Mall is about right in between there, and right next to Ayala Mall is what's called the Cebu Business District. So this whole area between IT Park and Cebu Business District, Ayala Mall, over to Mabolo, and right south, right below Mabolo, a few blocks, is SM Mall, another large mall. Kind of that whole area, your rents are generally higher than after you start moving out away from those areas. Although there are new developments, different places that will get higher rent also. But just to give you a general idea, that if you draw a circle around that area, if you find something in that area, Mabolo, Cebu City, Cebu IT Park, Lahug, Apas. They're generally going to be a little bit higher. Now there are lower rents. You occasionally see them for 10,000 pesos a month, but I think they get bought up pretty fast, I think. Here's an example of one of the sites that lists properties. I believe this was a screen grab from a site called RentPad.com. There are dozens of sites that put this type of information out. Like I've said before, I've contacted a lot of people through various types of sites and didn't really have very good luck. So Filipinos are some of the best network people in the world. It's often just better to ask the people at the hotel, ask your taxi driver, ask the people in the malls when you're there, and they usually know somebody who has a condo or house for sale or rent. Two other terms that you'll hear quite often, or areas, are the capital area. If you look at the name Cebu City and just drop from the Y on city, just drop down a little bit, depending on how big your screen is, you might be able to see I think it's a little green dot there. It's a circle. It's Osmeña Fuente Circle. It's a big circle, and it's surrounded by hotels and Robinson's shopping mall type place. And anyway, that's generally considered the capital region. The Cebu City is the capital of Cebu, the island of Cebu, and the Capitol building is not so far from that area. There's also two hospitals near that area. I have to say it right, Chonghua and Cebu City Doctors Hospitals. They're both very close to that area also. And then if you go directly south of that, down by the water where it says Magellan's Cross, that is the old downtown area. That's where Cologne Street is. You'll hear Cologne Street. That supposedly is the first street in the Philippines. If you go southwest from there, towards the left bottom corner there, that is the South Reclamation area. You'll find our brand new huge mall there called SM Seaside, and it's hard to miss. They've got a huge tower with restaurants. They aren't open quite yet, but they've got restaurants at the very top of this huge tower. And they've got a sea view, a mountain view, a nice outdoor area for viewing. But that is the South Reclamation area. If you go back northeast, up right below the Mabolo area, where SM Mall is and Mabolo Garden Flats are, that is called the North Reclamation area. You'll see that term. You go further northeast and you've got Mandawi City. Now, generally but not always, properties seem to be a little less there. Of course, you can find expensive properties anywhere, and then very inexpensive properties anywhere, depending upon what you're looking at. Mandawi City is where the Philippine Immigration Office is, at Chase Center Mall. I've done a separate video on that called Embassies and Immigration in the Philippines, I believe. Maybe foreign embassies. And it cost me, from where I live, usually costs me about 120 pesos by taxi to go over there, so it's not a big deal, about $3. Another area, traffic is generally a little worse in Mandawi area, just like it is on Mactan Island, many areas of Mactan Island. So take those things into consideration. There are other smaller malls. You've got the three big malls in the Cebu City area. Mandawi City has, I think, several smaller malls. So anyway, you've got shopping. And my opinion is Cebu City is a fairly small city area-wise. There's a lot of people in a in a relatively small area city. Now to put a little perspective on this, this picture was taken from my first condo rental, Edadis condominiums, on just off LaGuardia Street also, and we're looking towards the east. Basically, that is I believe the water in the background, that is Cebu Strait. Across that water is Mactan Island. The yellow and white building that we're looking at is LaGuardia Flats 2. The large tall building to the left of that is in IT Park, which is Information Technology Park. A lot of call centers in there, other businesses, banks. And that is a very high-end place. I believe studio condos rent for $35,000, start at $35,000, and one bedroom start at $45,000, right in that range anyway. You might find a owner a little more motivated at any given time, but that's what I was quoted. If you go to over to the right, the spired building there is the Waterfront Hotel, and they've got a little pond or something, so they call it waterfront. Nice kind of garden area around it. Lots of restaurants inside, and the U.S. consulate is in the basement there. So if you ever need to go to the U.S. consulate, that's where it's at. I've done a separate video on that called Foreign Embassies and Immigration in the Philippines, I believe. Go past the Waterfront Hotel and a little more to the right, you're in the Cebu Business District. And that's where Ayala Mall is, right in that general area. Lots of your new condominiums are right in that same area. I'm going to do, like I said, I'm going to do another video shortly on purchasing condos, some of the prices, some of the finance schemes that I've found here in the Philippines. So anyway, thank you for coming along. I hope that gives you some ideas on what's available. I've given you some contact numbers and a little bit of pricing. Everything is negotiable. Keep that in mind when you talk to somebody. I've met one expat who told me he was quoted, he wanted a 6-month rental. He goes back, I think, to England for 6 months, comes here for 6 months, and he was quoted 12,000 pesos a month for his, I believe it may have been a house rental. He told the guy, well, here's 60,000 pesos cash right now, which equals to 10,000 pesos a month. And the fact that he was giving him 6-month cash right off the bat, the guy agreed to give him that discount of 2,000 pesos a month. Instead of 12,000, it came out to 10,000 pesos a month. So the length of your lease, if the condo that you're looking at isn't furnished quite like you like a lot of them won't have air conditioning. A lot of the landlords will agree to put in the air conditioner for you. You can negotiate the terms of your lease, so keep those things in mind. Appreciate you coming along, and please share the video with family, friends, like, and subscribe. We'll see you next time.